Pledge allegiance to the flag.
To the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
On the order of tonight's agenda. All in favor? Aye. And approval of the minutes from the December 15th, 2025 regular meeting. Make motion. In favor? We have approval of the minutes from the December 29th. 2025 special meeting.
Make motion for those.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, moving forward with old business tonight, 2026 property liability cyber insurance update with First Choice Insurance, which is our packets we have here, tonight's binders.
You don't forget.
And you could go wherever you like. Okay. Here we go.
I just want to say thanks for letting me do your insurance again this year. Andrew and I and Joe met at the beginning of, I think it was December. Kind of went through everything, just checked off the list of like vehicles, any changes that you guys have made throughout the year. The last big change we made was adding a fire truck. We kind of went through that stuff, made sure there wasn't any other purchases that we needed to go through. In your binder, I kind of just go through this stuff. You guys have premium summaries of the last 2 years and now this upcoming year. You'll notice there is a jump this year, but we've had some pretty big losses these last couple that we've turned in. So there was a small comp claim, and then there was a couple liability claims that have gotten turned in that we've seen come across the desk here recently. So that's the increase of those things. Also on the auto premium from last year that is showing, it's not going to show your midterm increases or changes that we've made. So that's why that's even a little off on the 25 to 26. So that it looks like a bigger jump than it really is. Then on your next tab, you're going to have your premium or your breakdown that shows all your property, what's included, your deductibles, everything broken down, liability, what your coverages are there, that we've kind of kept the same, but on the property, we've increased by 6% each year. So we can kind of stay with inflation and everything like that. Tab 3 is your equipment breakdown proposal. That hasn't changed much, same thing. We're going up each year with just a blanket amount of insurance for all the buildings and equipment. So that is just shown there, and the premium really hasn't changed much on that. The cyber liability, that is your $3 million on your cyber. We decided to do that and increase that a couple of years ago. We did that after, I think, 2 years of being with us. Then the 5th tab is just your training opportunities. We can get with Mark Ennis, and I think that it would be beneficial if Joe and I got together, or Nate and Frank, all of us got together and kind of did some more vehicle training. I know we did that a couple of years ago, and they brought the simulator over and did all of that, and it was great resources for everybody.
Absolutely.
So we'll work on getting that together again so that we can try to bring our claims percentage back down. And then the last tab is just your claims update. And you can see that there are those claims open still, and hopefully those will kind of get closed here shortly. But there is one pending closed, and hopefully that one closes here in just a couple months. So, does anybody have any questions for this?
Do you have any questions?
No.
Linda? Josh? Eric?
I don't think so. I think it's fine. I don't have any questions either off the top of my head.
So what did we had? A fire truck, and I know we had the Tesla, and there were 2 for 1.
Yep.
Is that sort of where our vehicle jump
Yep.
flies?
Yep, and the accidents. So, and you can see on like your 25 to 26, we didn't have a huge increase, but we had a couple of accidents in the meantime of when we got the renewal premium. So now you're seeing the increase on those on this new premium. So, and we've had the other liability claims as well. That don't have open.
The
So
liability might really went up a lot.
yes, it did.
Like 50%.
Yeah, so that claim that Field First Town claim. That's that big one that's just getting closed and settled. It's not showing on there right now on the payment amounts. I didn't want to put that in there until it's been paid out.
Yeah.
Showing only 16 right now, but it's a lot larger than that.
That's the last one on 6/29/25.
But no, that is the one on 5/4/2022. So that one is large, but I didn't put the payment amount in there because it hasn't technically been paid out yet, but it has been settled. So. But it's not showing up on your loss report yet. But they put that in the pricing. Yep. They knew it was gonna get paid out, so. But a lot of these claims should be falling off. So that'll help as well. And then we did have the workers' comp that also came down 8,000. I just delivered that to Andrew in June. So that helped a lot as well. So that was because some of the claims fell off of the workers' comp as well. So kind of getting close to these claims falling off.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Was there an increase for having that fire truck, a new fire truck or the?
There wasn't, yep, there was an additional increase in there. For adding that new fire truck, that's part of that increase, John, because 21, if that's not all the increase, you're still seeing an increase on it because of the loss ratio as well. But the 21 shows what the renewal premium was in 25. It doesn't show any midterm increases on there.
Just a fire truck that said it has that.
Yeah, yeah. And I have reached out to EMC to see if they will offer a quote. They just say. So we're working on that as well. So we can see what their renewal premiums are, if they'll even offer us a quote with the law.
Like the bill, did you guys reevaluate the buildings? Is that you every year?
We look at everything and make sure that everything's in valuation,
I
but
mean, recently it's been the same last year or two, but like before that, way off.
it was way off. We did it, yeah. But we increased by 6% each year automatically, so that we're staying with that inflation cost. We're not gonna get behind on that, which is important. Right, you see that.
Okay.
Yep.
Any more questions, Andrew or Joe?
Thank you.
Give us the invoice and we'll get it. approved.
Okay, moving on, 2026, I'm sorry, town ordinance number 2025-12, the 2026 town salary ordinance, second reading.
Incorporated Town of North Judson 2026 salary ordinance number 2025-12. And if you want to adopt 2025-12, we would just need let's consider our second reading and adoption if you see fit.
Make a motion to approve the second reading and adoption of town ordinance 2025-12.
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Same. Anything else with that?
Nope.
Moving on, 2026 council representative and board vacancies.
Yeah, so we've got Megan. Welcome. This is just your first of many park board representative, meeting attendant this year. So we've got John's penciled in here. I just covered that. And we received on the next page, we received a park board resignation. Thank you. A park board resignation from Alicia Collins. So we've got one position, and that was our political position. So we've got Nick and Alicia and Megan and Andrew. So it would need to be a Democrat. And there's one more year on that term this year, and that would be starting over next year. So we'll have to do some searching for that. And I've already been thinking about it. I'm not sure. I'll bring it up at our meeting and see if there's anybody in North Judson who's interested in that. Other than that, we still have one citizen member meeting appointment to the BZA. So 2 members currently seeking, and I think those are mainly our vacancies.
Are you interested in that position? We have a opening on BZA. Okay, think about it.
We only meet
On
a
the
couple times.
BZA?
We only meet a couple times a year.
Couple times a
John
year.
Bill
Make
Habee's
some
on it.
decisions.
Yep. Josh, Isaiah Collins, Jerry Jernus and John Silhaby are also on there.
Yeah, there's 5 members right now, there's
Yep.
4. How often do you say maybe you guys meet? It's been
Few times a
busier
year.
lately.
It's
but
been
I'm not-
busier lately, yeah.
There's
We-
years you only met once or twice, right?
Yeah.
Those are the first.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of activity.
No.
I've had.
And we've had, ever since for Hagen, we've probably had 2 a year, and we've got 2 the first 2 weeks of this year, just because we've got, which I'll get to in a second, zoning application on special use. Request for variance from development standards, it's a small lot, they want to put something small on it kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we may meet
Something you may be interested in.
3 to 4 times a year at the most, and we mainly meet in the mornings, like we met at 8 o'clock this morning, so give it some thought. We'd appreciate the input, that'd be great.
Okay, anything else to any of that, Andrew?
No.
Just looking for a Democrat for the park board and then 1 spot for the BZA.
Citizen member for the BZA, yep, citizen member, there's no strings attached to that, it's just appointed by the town council as a whole.
And we have one person showing some interest, but we figure we'll try to gather some names and then present it to the council and.
It would be nice to get all, I don't know if we've ever had all these spots filled in about 5 years probably.
Yeah, I know. We're close now. We're close.
Been a while.
Yeah.
It used to be okay. Man, it's tough anymore.
And Andrew and I have talked, the BZA and Planning Commission, it used to be, almost like a once a year thing.
Yeah,
But we have picked up with, the potential for the town growing, for, people looking to build houses, businesses coming in, things like that. So we're meeting a little bit more frequently, but still, those are good things to have.
absolutely.
Okay, so what
With-
about,
With that, I will just present Justin's, it says council representative and board vacancies. I almost look like Justin as a representative of the town as our town attorney, so there is his contractor agreement for attorney services in there. Just one change, and that would be under section 3, subsection H, litigation in excess of 1.5 hours per month shall be billed at the attorney's hourly rate of $245 an hour. So that's the only change year over
that
year.
did change because it was, when he was full time for us, the total 12,000. Litigation was all included.
Yeah,
He's not full time.
it's 8,000 and yeah, and I think there'll be more, but if we spread it out right and we do them, we don't pile on 10 at a time, we can space them out. Where the most severe ones, the ones we have in the pipeline now are the most severe ones, so.
And the way we're trying to do it is, we're starting some, letting it work through the process, and then we've already got another batch identified, and we'll start that process as that's one batch is nearing end. We'll start the next, so.
Yep.
Like Andrew said, we'll try to keep it spread out.
We have a motion to move forward with retaining Justin's contract for another year.
Make a motion that we move forward and retain Justin Schramm as a town attorney.
I second it.
All in favor?
Right.
Okay, what about? Or is? Okay, what am I going? Redevelopment Commission? We want to talk about that redevelopment commission because that's part of,
Yeah, which we'll elect our new officers at our first meeting of the year before our next meeting.
oh.
Yeah.
How much is that first meeting?
If we had a redevelopment commission meeting,
I'm good. I was doing town council.
Yeah.
And then the redevelopment. We usually did that all at the same time, I thought.
well, it's gotta be a meeting of the redevelopment commission that does that. They elect their leadership when it's a redevelopment commission meeting. That's
We won't do it as part of the.
town council meeting. Yeah, we'll do it. It'll be on the agenda for the first redevelopment commission meeting of the year.
Now what about us as a town council? I don't see that on here.
Did we not cover all those? But the last one, I know we did liaisons.
Some, we did.
President, Vice President.
Yeah, okay, that's probably the only one. So
I
yeah.
just want to make sure. we
Yeah,
ask what we
yeah,
meant
we'll
by
need to
that.
do, yeah,
We always,
a lot of representatives here, a lot of moving parts here, so.
well, I'm asking, bring it up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We can make a motion right now.
Motion, President.
Love.
Make a motion, we retain John Rouse, president.
I second
All in favor?
it. Aye.
We need a motion for vice president. Somebody has a,
I'll make a motion, we retain Josh Brown as vice president.
One second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Painful for a second.
Not riding on that. Everybody's all plus and one.
Big
So much, right?
It goes up so much. doesn't it?
Yeah, the big pay
Okay, is
increase.
there anything else with that, Andrew, with the? I
No, we've
it
got
all covered now?
liaisons, we've got curbsy, our redevelopment.
We've got ADA Title VI
Yep.
squared away.
Yep, we did our, for the year, we did our BZ or planning and BZA stuff this morning. I think that should be it.
Okay, good. All right. So then we'll move on to 2025 year-end billing, financials and reporting update.
Yeah, so first thing there is just to notice that we got our Indiana State Board of Account fees in for our wastewater, water, utility, audit, engagement, records examination, whatever they call it. So you can see the totals in there, and I've got a PO for the wastewater and water went in my POs there, but all told, what surprised me was the coronavirus state and local fiscal local fund. 4.6 days. A total of $4,517.33 just to audit something that I've got to report and submit records for every year. And it was a period of 2 years. We got the money over 2 years. We spent it like it overlapped. So 22 and 3, we spent it in 23 and 24. And we have to report all those expenditures and upload all kinds of documentation. And it still costs us $4,500 to get that record
Audited.
examined. It blows my mind. They did all of the other departments. Water, everything in our general fund, everything in redevelopment, everything in MVH. For 1/3 of that cost was just that grant that and there was maybe 5 expenditures out of there. I think we had 2 or 3 contractors for the total of that
We
$387,000.
really did big projects.
No, exactly, and it knocked it out right away. And it's just surprising me how long that is, but I won't dwell on that any longer. So that's it for we've got Joe and I working on our property and liability stuff. We'll get that to them in the next couple of days. Not a lot of changes there, but that's part of our year-end reporting. I've got actually in front of you printed where's our year-end appropriation report. You'll notice a lot of stuff in there where it is in tremendous shape. There's 40-50% left in some, MVH being one of them. And that was because we over budget for our DES projects, the state grant fund projects. We put all the money in there that we're going to spend, knowing we get 75 or 80% of it back. Well, we didn't spend as much this year, so there was 190, 189, something like that left in just that appropriation line. So it looks like there's 200 some thousand in there. That would have left us about 50,000, which would have been a good percentage, over 90% of our budget spent. So it looks a little askew, but that's why. It's just a matter of the way the numbers work with our grant projects. Everything else is in good shape. Like I said, we only had the $150 for CCD. So we're excited about that to wrap the year up, working with Nicole at Baker Tilly to get all that wrapped up. So about it for tonight.
Pretty good. Thank you.
Yep.
All right, we're moving on. Justin, go through your contract. We approved it.
Oh, thank you.
The minimum before you got here. So
Literally, like, I was prepared to storm out.
No, wait. They're watching out there to say, "Oh, I'm probably on YouTube." All right, planning commission zone clarification recommendations. For the
Yeah.
2024 property annexation.
Yeah, so apologies. I think they're in reverse order in your packet as they are on the agenda. This morning, we held 2 public hearings. These go together. You can look at them at the same time. We held 2 public hearings for the first of them was BZA. And there was a variance request for a small piece of property down here at Lane and Vine Street. And the BZA, Mr. John Silhaby's here. He could speak to that as well as Josh and myself were here this morning. At the next meeting, the recommendation was to approve. So there's approve with changes, or deny, and the recommendation of the BZA is to approve this. It's on a small piece of property that's not 50 feet wide, as is stated in our development standards and schedule of zoning district regulation. So there were several facets to it. One was the minimum lot dimensions, 50-foot width, and side and front and rear spacing on it. So basically they wanted to build a residence 26 feet wide on the property. And I wanted to get a copy of the property itself. but, I see I just submitted the BZA notification that went in the paper for this morning's public hearing and the original application. So, looking at it, there was something there previously on that very same.
Yeah, they're wanting to go back to the original footprint of the existing property.
So, which with a new, building application, it would require this first. So we'll, put the ordinance together for that and put it in front of the council, at our next meeting on the 19th, along with, John, any thoughts before I move on to the planning commission one?
No.
Okay. Pretty self-explanatory. Planning commission, public hearing notice was for the parcels we annexed in 2024. They'll be on the tax rolls for 2026. And it's currently agriculture. And as we do not have an agricultural zoning, classification, we have to hold a public hearing for the spot zoning of these pieces of property. It was the recommendation of the planning commission that that property be zoned general business, which would allow for housing and anything commercial to go in there if it meets the proper zoning regulations according to our schedule of zoning regulations, which most of them are pretty similar to local business, aside from the width of the lot dimensions and the area square footage of it. So
What's the location on that one? Yeah.
we'll send all this out. It's the
Yeah.
property we annexed on the east side of town, the triangle there. So I will, all the documents that will go with this, the map and everything, we'll send that out via email. That way you have it before the next meeting. And if there's any discussion items before the ordinance is adopted, we can, happy to field those, Joe or I. But those were the two under new business. That pretty much covers it all.
Oh, good. Okay, moving on to guest recognition. Who gave me that guest recognition? Please. You ready to start? Now, Kriminalski, everything tonight for us?
All I got is on Franklin Street. They put some more gravel in that, where they cut across for a sewage tie-in for a new house.
Franklin Lab.
I second that.
That one's getting pretty deep again. I just broke a belt on one of my car tires the other day. So I replaced the tires. So it's getting deep.
Where was this at? Franklin and?
Franklin.
Where that new house
Yeah.
is.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
You know that's that, Kim. Yeah, you're aware.
Just drove some gravel in it.
Yeah, and I know,
You know.
yeah, I know, Kim, as soon as spring breaks, got it lined up with Town and Country.
Yeah, I mean, you can do nothing now, just keep
Yeah.
it full with gravel, you know, so.
Okay. Anything else? Thank you. Sherry Bartoli?
I didn't have anything. I thought that was just an attendance sheet.
It is.
So, okay,
If you got something we want to hear.
well, just so you know, I'm here.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, we're moving on. Departmental reports, representative reports, clerk treasurer Andrew, you're up first.
Yes, so I've got PO 2936. This is to the State Board of Accounts for our wastewater and water utility. The water utility was in about $4,133.36. And our wastewater utility was in the amount of $4,472.16. That is a total of $8,605.52. The State Board of Accounts PO 2936.
Make motion to pay PO 2936.
I second it.
All in favor?
Okay, I appreciate that very much. I only have a couple things. Most of it is on the agenda. Election forms due January 2025. I don't know the exact date. But we have to turn those in yearly now. It's the CFA 4, and there are other ones there. Give me 1 second, I'll tell you.
37.
Yes, so the entire forms for the entire council and elected officials is due by Wednesday, January 21st in the clerk's office. So I'll get the specifics on the exact forms, but
You can email it to him, correct? I think I did last year.
I think so. Yeah. Scan and send, yeah, I'll give an email.
Yeah, you guys, I did it from my office over there.
Yeah.
I remember that everybody came here to scan the original.
Yep.
So
Yep, I think you're right. Yep,
either way,
yep, absolutely.
what is it? 4 and 37?
I
Fuel
spent
list.
04, yeah. I
Yeah,
know.
it was.
I think that's all I got.
Okay, any questions for Andrew, anyone? Thank you very much. School board, I haven't talked to Doug recently, anybody hear anything from Doug, anyone in the school? I saw him, man, and talked to him about the school,
No update.
no update, on building inspector. Anybody
Similar.
got anything from
Yeah.
him?
Don't believe anything new's come in.
No, I haven't seen
Okay.
anything.
Yeah, we haven't heard anything from Tony in the last couple weeks, but again, it's slow this time of year.
Anything for code enforcement that you're aware of tonight? We'll come back to that. Unsafe. Nothing with unsafe very well. BZA planning.
I think we covered it. We've got we have one more appeal, an application we received from the Wapples, Debbie Wapple and Kearns for their piece of property there. It is a request for a variance, special use variance. And that'll be put before the BZA on the 12th. And then at our meeting on the 19th, that gives us plenty of notice to get those on the agenda for the council on the 19th. So we'll have two of the BZA variances and one spot zoning ordinance that we'll be entertaining in our next council meeting. So just be aware those will be on the agenda.
Okay.
Justin and I will be working on those.
Redevelopment Commission.
We'll have a pre-meeting, I'm gonna say 6:30 on January 19th
6:30.
or 6.
We had 6:15 right on here.
That's last.
Is that last one? Okay.
Yeah. Do we need a new calendar? You
6
got
o'clock.
it.
got one. I
got one. Yeah, and if there's not a lot, we can always, we'll, that Thursday, 48 hours ahead of time, we'll let you know what we put our notification up as. Which maybe it serves to discuss the year ahead, sort of talk about things that are upcoming, that kind of thing.
And we need to get with Park Board President. That way I find out when their first meeting is. I'd love to get some feedback from them.
Yeah.
For,
Yeah,
any ideas, potential projects, things like that.
For another teammate there too. So-
grant stuff. Yeah, that's the other one is grant dollars. We can work with the
Ideas on-
community foundation this year like we did last year too.
Great, moving on then to park. Anything from the park?
Megan?
Yeah.
No?
Nothing from the park other than the
Okay.
resignation of Alicia Collins.
Yeah, Alicia Collins' resignation. Up there.
Yeah, we have fire up next.
Oh, we don't have a whole lot going on. We took one of our tankers down to McQueen this morning. And we're gonna do a little bit of refurbishing on the pumps, the plumbing leaked a little. Just some preventative maintenance, I guess, where you're gonna use the part of the Wayne Township money for that. So we'll be down a tanker for a couple days, but come back shiny, new. That's about it. We've got I think 4 openings at the moment. So if you know any young able-bodied individuals, send them our way. Anything else? I got one PO. 2926 to McQueen for SCBA recertification and inspection. $2,080.75.
Okay, PO 2920.
Second.
All in favor? Any questions for Nate? No questions, thank you, Nate. Utilities,
Everybody should have received their report. We did the sewer main repair over by Bender and Beach Street. Had to replace the aerator housing on the water department. Did evals, been doing a lot of wastewater plant adjustments, wasting quite a bit. Changed out a few meters and then we changed out a couple hydraulic cylinders on the back holes that was leaking. I have a couple POs, PO 2927 to USA Blue Book for lab supplies for $902.90. PO 2928 to utility supply for sewer pipe for $675.22. PO 2929 to HWC for a desktop computer for the waste plant for $1,428. PO 2933 to Dustin Stamps for parts for the 2011 3500 HD for $1,688.87. And PO 2935 to Granger for the aerator for the water department for $842.10.
Make a motion to pay PO 2927, 2928, 2929, 2933, and 2935.
Second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Anything else, Jim?
Thanks.
Any questions for Kim tonight? No questions for Kim, thank you. Okay, we're gonna go back to code enforcement. We have anything with code enforcement tonight?
The normal stuff, tagging some cars and yanking some cars and getting some people to clean up some stuff. Gonna work with, Kara, and put out some extra information early on this year regarding things that people, like I just talked to somebody today, didn't know they need dog tags, didn't know these kind of things. We're gonna work on some kind of way without breaking the bank to get information out to people regarding some simple stuff like that. We've had a super large influx for whatever reason, over the last couple of weeks of people just putting furniture out for the garbage man to take. See, and it's like, we can do that. I think we're once a month or something like that. We have if you got a couch or something, you call Waste Management, and that's kind of part of our contract. But people don't know it. They throw a couch out there and then it sits for weeks and weeks and weeks. So obviously we got to stop and talk to them, and then who knows how, because they only come once a month to do that stuff. So you see a couch out there. I mean, literally, if the timing was bad, it could sit out there for 2 months before anything gets done. So yeah, taking little bites of that, and then, like I said, working with Kara, I think we're gonna figure out some way to get some better information out there for some of these kind of tiny little problems that tend to be big problems after a while.
Sounds good. Anybody have any questions for Frank regarding that? Nope. Okay, we're gonna come back to you, Frank, for police.
Make it pretty quick, kind of a end of year notes for all last year. And I started seeing, after I came back, we started seeing a heavy increase in call volumes. So we're like, for instance, in 2025, we had 5,581 calls for service over the course of the year, which was a 27% increase from the year before, which was a 70% increase from the year before that. But when I come on in 24, mid-year, I really ramped up the guys doing night patrols, foot patrols, business checks. We're out there yanking on doors and stuff like that. That's really helped out. It's business owners are starting to see it. They're realizing, the cops are out there really hitting the streets at night. I think it's really shown to be very effective. So call volume is up from, like I said, 5,581 from 2,423 in 2019. So we're like 130% increase in call volume. Now, a bunch of that is like what I said, guys out there, yanking on doors and stuff. Every one of those is a small little call that's generated. So not to, we didn't go up that much in, the bad kind of calls, but some of that has increased. So we got Adam in and out of the academy last year. David Hanson started his academy today. That's good. We'll have him back in 10 weeks. A quick fleet update with the vehicles. We put on 43,611 miles with five cars last year, which is only, it's really not that much. It's 119 miles per day divided, with two people, two officers. So that's, when you're talking about patrolling town. So
It used to be 100 miles, wasn't it? 100 miles a day was the.
Doug Vesely, when I first come on, he was like, "Don't go over 75 miles."
We talked about that many times.
Yeah.
So to be under 60 per, that you don't know though how that's gonna work.
No, and I mean that average, how many times are we have to go to the county? We're obviously we do a little bit of work outside this, the city limits. We're answering calls. We're going to St. Pierre for crashes. I was up on 200 south and 39 for a really bad crash last week.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's, it's only 5 miles, but it's 5 miles that probably would not have done that day. Actually, 10 miles, I wouldn't have not have done that day had that crash not occurred.
Yep.
So I don't think those numbers are bad at all. Yeah, yeah. And obviously any kind of out of the area trainings and stuff, you know, those are going on there. So yeah, pretty good numbers, I think. Yeah, I think that's it. Oh, POs, yeah. Sorry. Been big bucks on camera. PO number 2924 for $540. That's for David's police academy course. Who's it to the law enforcement training board. PO 2925 for $5,548.61. That is our annual online RMS computer database to Caliber. PO 2932 for $3,305.06 for repairs to the Police Explorer. That is to Dustin Stamps. PO 2934 for $513.18 for radiator issues on the Tahoe to Dustin Stamps. And that's it.
Make a motion to pay PO 2924, 2925, 2932, and 2934.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Using to put my PO.
Anybody have any questions for Frank? No questions? Okay, we're moving on. Joe, town manager.
Yeah, I know I've got to get with Justin. We're looking to get that municipal transfer statement done for the transfer of the right of way from the school to us. The town for our sidewalk project over in that Humney sub area. And when I know Mitch Hansen, I think, spoke with you about it. From USI.
It probably did quite a bit. I vaguely remember. There's a lot of properties I think we were talking about.
Right. And I know when we do that municipal transfer, we also were thinking we're trying to put a statement in there for temporary right of way or construction. That way it kind of covers us. Obviously, they're transferring the right of way, but there's sometimes that we've got to cross another piece of right of way of theirs just to kind of cover all the bases. So I can get with you.
He was making a reach out. Was he going to send me descriptions or something? It's been a while.
I'm not sure. I'll find out because I know I've got to meet with him Wednesday. But I know that's on our agenda. We need to get done so we can get that property transferred over before we start construction. I spoke with the Indiana Trails program with the DNR. We were missing a compliance form for our grant application. That's the only thing that they found. Got them that compliance form. Everything else looked good. They didn't have any questions about our trails grant. So they said, look to hear something in Q2. So fingers crossed that all goes well. We've already talked about the open position on the park board. Something that Andrew and I discussed after our last meeting, we forgot doing our salary ordinance, we forgot to discuss potential holidays. I know that's something we've discussed before. Trying to obviously stay competitive and make sure we're on the right track. Doing a little research. Currently we've got 10 holidays. One of those is Election Day, and that kind of falls off. That only happens every 3 years. It falls off.
Just general, right?
Right. And
That was the day I brought up.
Veterans and
President's Day. Well,
I knew it was gonna fall back on something I brought up. That's what brought it up.
well, yeah, doing a little research, we looked into what Knox does. Knox does 14 paid holidays. Hamlet does 12, Winnemac does 12.
What do we do, 9?
Yeah.
With
10,
election day.
10 with election day. So the thought was,
We have it written out somewhere.
Yeah.
Review.
On the salary ordinance.
Yeah. and we've got a copy also here too, we can pass around and.
New Year's Day, Good Friday, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Election Day, Thanksgiving, Day after Thanksgiving, Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day.
Yeah.
So it would be,
Okay, it's Saturday.
No.
what's that?
Need something in that first quarter here.
Well, that's why we kind of thought about
MLK is-
President's Day, because President's Day, we do have the New Year, there's a holiday there, and then President's Day's in February. And then that's why, you
That's what I
know,
would think, is something to break up that monotonous, or
Right.
else whatever here.
How about what days are posted?
I know, I thought about that one too, for federal holidays.
Right.
Yeah, there's more,
Yeah.
there's,
yeah, they've got a bunch, but we could find out.
MLK, Juneteenth,
Yeah, I know they would do
Okay.
President's Day and probably Veterans Day.
Arbor Day.
But that was something that we kind of, it slipped our minds during the salary ordinance. We
Yeah.
both were like, we were wanting to bring that up.
We closed on,
That's when they're
Christmas
enumerated.
Eve.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're closed the day before.
Jeff's birthday. What's your birthday, Justin?
Yeah.
I am on board for Veterans Day 100. So I thought we were close to that already. No, November 11th. That's the day of my birthday.
Post office says 11.
Post office at 11.
Yeah.
Columbus Day is I think the interesting one there.
That's the one in October.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think I would appreciate something to break up, like I said, this long.
Yeah.
The winter,
That's
yeah.
why, that's why.
Yeah, so maybe MLK
Or
and
President's.
Veterans Day. Those 2 days would be common.
Or presidents and veterans.
When's presidents?
February.
That makes sense.
Because then, because if you have a day off for the new year, New Year's Day is off, you get 1 day off in January, and then February, there's that, and then nothing in March, and then Good Friday is in April.
Well, let's not forget, we have vacation too. So
Right. Right, no, yeah.
it's not like everybody's bound to, bound for work. If they want to take days off, they can.
But I think we, discussing it with Andrew and the staff, I think we've done a really good job of, definitely updating our vacation. Insurance, we're up to par,
Oh, yeah.
someone comes in.
You have to, or else you're not gonna get people to work.
And I know we brought this up about holidays last year, and we were like, how we'll address it in salary ordinance, and as soon as it was over, we both like.
Yeah, it's not a gun.
We were like, we forgot
Yeah.
to talk about holidays.
We have added days though.
Yes,
You have-
yes.
It's not like we've never.
No, absolutely. It was 2016 was when election day or Good Friday was at. And then a couple of years ago, we did, election day.
What is President's Day, JD?
President's Day this year is the 16th of February. About right.
Okay, we don't need to ponder on this too long. So
So I can reintroduce the salary ordinances at the next meeting. And that would be the only change. There would be no change to any salaries.
Yeah.
It would just be that line and all
The
three of them
holiday
there,
schedule.
yeah.
Okay.
I'll prepare those.
we're adding 2 more days off. And I mean, we currently at.
And that would get us with
12?
Winnemac and Ham.
Well, it's 11 plus 1 election that day.
It's 9 plus election day.
9 plus election day, so, yeah, so right now, on the, what is it, 4th year, we only have 9 holidays.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So if you're gonna go look at it like that though, what is the vacation policy for these other places do?
Right.
Do they get 2 weeks at the end of the first year?
Yeah, I mean, we can check.
We
into
do that. I don't know if we need to go do all that, but I'm saying when we start comparing and contrasting,
Right,
sometimes it's easier to look and say, oh, well, they get 14 days. Okay, that's great, but do they get 10 holidays or 5 PTO and 5 sick or however you want to word that out? I'm not saying we shouldn't have, I'm the one that brought this up last year and said,
yeah,
why are we open on Veterans Day? Like, I thought that was silly. So I'm not saying I'm not against it. I'm just always saying sometimes it doesn't always add up.
Right.
That's all. So I'm more focused on what we think is the right holidays to give off for the right people, the right time. So I have no issue with President's Day and Veterans Day, if that's what the consensus is. But I just think we need to make sure that we're doing what's right for us.
It's like our wages being competitive. You guys have been tremendous in
Yes,
the last few
absolutely.
years of that, and it's one of those things where it attracts somebody who may want to go work for Frank, but how can I pass them the money? But when they're looking at the specifics of it's actually not 85-15, it's 50 or it's 75.
Yeah.
There's another
Yeah.
5% there. I get an extra day here, 2 weeks, I have 2 weeks off, like, it just helps. We could say, oh, we don't have 2 less days. We have the same amount of holidays, say that kind of.
Absolutely.
And
No, I
it
understand.
gives us more ammunition, like you said, go like, hey, this is our insurance, it's 85.15, we get 12 paid holidays.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, maybe we're a quarter less if they want to start. But
Right.
do they offer this,
Dollars,
or do they
yeah.
offer this, and like you said, vacation, all of it
Yeah.
kind
it's
of
a package.
bundles into our package.
It's a package, right, it is. So, okay, well, you get it set up and then we can pull it around to the next meeting.
Yep.
Okay. Joe, is there anything else you?
I'd say 2 purchase orders, purchase order 2930 to USI for the ADA Title VI and the Pazer for $9,076.85, and purchase order 2931 to Anthony and Kimberly Kearns for right-of-way acquisition for the Hubney sub project for $1,000.
What was the first PO?
Purchase order 2930 to USI.
Make motion to pay PO 2930 and 2931.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Joe, anything else for us tonight?
That's it.
Good. Anybody have any questions for Joe?
No.
All right, moving on to legal update tonight with Mr. Tram.
Just a quick one. There was a gentleman who went before the commissioners tonight, and I think talking with Andrew last week, he might have been before. He owns 2 pieces of property. One's like 17 and a half acres, one that's 2 or 2.5. And he wanted to, I think he requested this in you all, that 2.5 acres, he didn't want to be within town limits, he wanted to be out of county limits. So he approached the commissioners, and I told the commissioners that it's actually a disannexation, so the commissioners units can't annex property from one another, otherwise people be annexing property from each other all the time. So basically how it works is you, since it's your 2.5 acres, would have to disannex his property in order for him to revert to county zoning or outside of town limits. So I basically told him that we'll have to talk to Andrew to get on the agenda and file a petition, and you guys will have to hear that if you want to consider it. Just giving you a heads up, he may not do it.
Yeah, I know he's been here before.
He came and
talked
asked the
about that.
council about it.
And it's one of those things that we kind of put, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, we put it back in his court, like, why are we going to go through all this trouble of de-annexing this small piece of property that is in essence costing us money? We're losing a little bit. So if he really wants it, I think it was everybody's consensus that we want him to do the legwork and do everything that's possible, like.
I was gonna say, I don't even know what the property tax revenue and stuff.
Yeah, I mean.
Justify.
Hundreds.
Can't be that.
Yeah.
Below.
Yeah.
Hundreds, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's.
I get what he's trying to do to square it up,
Right.
because I can
Right.
see that would be a pain,
Yeah.
because you've got this little, but yeah, I mean, if he's gonna do it, he needs to. Yeah, do the whole thing.
Formalized.
Yeah.
Formalized, yeah.
Not put it off on us and all right, do that. Yeah, I agree.
We have the, it's the.
We received
Or you
something.
like,
Oh, I'm sure he will.
Anything else tonight?
I think so. Appreciate you proving my contract. Hey. Don't really find print.
Oh,
Don had his big magnifying
first
glass.
first as I saw it, I started reading through it. All right. Moving on to additional business. Be deemed necessary by the council. Alex, you have anything for us tonight?
No.
No. Eric?
I just was thinking about the Lane Street property we were talking about, the data center or whatever. That's not metered or anything now, is it?
I don't
Think
think
it
so.
is, right?
It was at one point.
I know,
Yeah.
but I don't think it is now.
No, so it would be a new.
They garbage and nitrate, as far as I know.
So, okay, so it would be garbage and sewer or garbage and water? Just nitrogen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just be a no structure, they don't get charged water or sewer.
And then if
But they build structure.
they're gonna have to, a new sewer tap, new water tap,
That's what
so,
I'm thinking.
yeah.
Okay, that was just one I wanted to know. Sure.
Yeah.
All I got, but thank you.
Adds to our utility too.
Yeah, that's our utility.
Linda? Nothing tonight? Josh? I don't have anything either. Payment of claims, December 16th, 2025, and January 5th of 2026, the amount of $238,856.85.
Make motion to pay the vacancies.
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye. Motion to adjourn?
All in favor?
Aye.
Megan, how many holidays you guys do over there? Not.
My 2 minutes. Don't talk to my mom about it.
Really?